Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another little mod update for, guess what, the attachment pack. That's right, we're checking out some more progress on my up-and-coming mod. It's been a little bit since we did the last one. Last time we talked about all of the cool new laser rifle attachments, and today we're focusing on the plasma rifle. Now, to be honest, the plasma rifle is another one I was kind of dreading because I just wasn't sure how I could mesh my own designs with the vanilla design. It's definitely a little bit more out there in terms of not only design methodology, but also the colors used, and so I was worried I wouldn't be able to match my own style quite as well as I did with previous weapons. But I have to say that this might be one of the weapons I'm most proud of in the pack so far, and that's what I thought about the laser rifle. I'm actually really excited with a lot of the attachments coming to the plasma rifle in the pack, and I hope that any of you who are plasma rifle fans out there will really enjoy the stuff I have to show today. There were about 3 separate times where I thought that I was done with the plasma rifle, but we just kept getting ideas. Not only me, but Pig as well, and the community kept giving us ideas too, and so now we have even more than I ever thought we'd have for the plasma rifle, and I'm just really pleased with what is actually in the pack. Not only do I enjoy a lot of the designs that we have visually, but also functionally, a lot of these new attachments will add some new versatility to the plasma rifle that it just wouldn't have had in the vanilla game. You can really customize the thing to do a lot more than it ever could before, and it was already a pretty versatile weapon. I think a lot of these attachments pair together really nicely. I tried to make it as compatible as possible so that you can mix and match these attachments to make some really cool and unique combinations. I can't wait to see some of the stuff you guys come up with once this thing goes public. Now, as you may have seen in some of my other attachment pack updates, one of the big things I'm trying to do with this mod is bring back some of those classic attachments from past games to make some of the newer Fallout 4 weapons look more like their original counterparts. As you know, Fallout 4's design changed quite a bit. The 10mm pistol, the plasma rifle, and even the plasma pistol, just to name a few, are very different now from their original designs, and so I wanted to bring back some of those classic features so you could have a little bit of a nostalgia trip with this pack. And the plasma rifle was definitely one of the hardest to do that with, because the receiver is nothing like the original, especially for the plasma pistol. Since they combined both of the weapons in Fallout 4, you can't really recreate the plasma pistol without a standalone mod, but I did include some classic parts so you could at least attempt to have some similarities. Let's go ahead and take this thing in-game over to a weapons workbench so we can show off every individual attachment so far. So here we are with the plasma pistol, the most basic version of this weapon in Fallout 4, and I'm just gonna be honest, I didn't entirely love the design in Fallout 4. It is a pretty neat looking sci-fi gun, but I just really like the version from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas personally. Not only the plasma pistol, but the plasma rifle as well. But I think that with some of the attachments in the attachment pack, this weapon may not look exactly like the original, but I think it at least looks pretty dang cool and has some new functionality that I think is pretty neat. So let's go ahead and check out what we've got. At the moment, there is no receiver options. Quite frankly, I don't know what I would even do with this thing, so I'm not going to bother with it. But where this mod really shines, I think, is in the barrels, grips, and even a couple of sight options I included. So let's start off with the barrels. We have all your standard stuff that you would expect, you know, the regular old splitter, the automatic barrel, the sniper, the flamer, yada yada. But as we get down here, you'll find the assault barrel, and as you may recognize, this is as close as we can get to the Fallout 3 style barrel, which I think looks really neat. If we go ahead and throw on a stock for this guy, we have a pretty cool looking plasma rifle, in my opinion. This is not bad. In my opinion, this is quite a bit better than the standard old plasma rifle, because without that assault barrel, this is the plasma rifle in Fallout 4. So I think this is a little bit more fitting for the name. But that's not all. We have some other stuff in here too. We have all the improved barrels, and then we have the multi-plas barrel, which you may also recognize from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. This is going to be 2 barrels combined for a cool little multi-shot rifle. Almost a shotgun, except it's only 2 projectiles, but it still gives you a nice little damage boost and 2 projectiles, making this a pretty cool and effective weapon. Sort of like a lore-friendly integration of the 2-shot legendary effect. As we move down, though, we have some other cool barrels as well. Getting past the improved stuff, we have that accelerated automatic barrel made by Pig, which is actually a rotating sort of minigun barrel on this rifle that allows for some incredibly fast automatic fire rates. This thing is super cool. Awesome work by Pig. We have something I'm sure a lot of you will be excited about, and that is the caster barrel. A nice callback to the P94, a really cool trident-shaped caster barrel on the end there. This is a lot of fun. It's going to give you some increased damage and range, but a pretty slow fire rate. And then we also have what I am calling the Gamma Barrel, sort of inspired by one of the barrels in Fallout 76. We have a nice dish on the end, some cool makeshifty parts, and this adds a little bit of radiation damage to the weapon. It doesn't increase the base damage too much, but you will get a radiation damage boost. Still a regular old plasma projectile, but it does add a nice little bit of versatility to the type of damage this thing can produce. And then we have the Launcher Barrel, which is just massive and cool. Ignore this translucent part right here where you can see through it. It doesn't look like that at all in-game. That's only a weird thing with the preview menu here. It's actually like solid green whenever we actually take this into the world, so just ignore that. But there is a small issue with all of these cool new barrels. I'll go ahead and throw on the caster barrel to show you exactly what I mean. If we take this thing into first person and aim down sights, you'll see that it's not quite right. Actually, I need to edit that, sorry. It actually blocks out some of the iron sight. The iron sight is much lower than the caster, and if you tried to aim with that front post, you're not going to hit your target at all. And that's true for a handful of barrels. The caster barrel is just one, but also the multiplast barrel and this gamma barrel all block the standard iron sights. So we need a way to look over them. Luckily, in the base game, there is a reflex sight for this weapon, and that does just peek over the caster barrel, so that is pretty cool. But I also included some other options in case you don't like the vanilla reflex sight. We now have raised sights in the form of a nice little riser here. Some of you might see this as a bit of a carry handle, though it would be hard to sneak your hand in there. And these completely look over the new barrels, so you can actually look right over it. Has a new set of iron sights that you can use. But that's not the only option. We actually have another new reflex sight that has a bit of a secondary purpose, and those are the grenade launcher sights. So this thing is really, really cool. It's a dual functionality set of reflex sights. They can totally be used with any of the other barrels. As you can see, it has a nice little reticle in the middle that totally works for any type of projectile, but it also has the marking so that you can pair this with the grenade launcher barrel. So if we go to barrels and come on down to that grenade launcher barrel, this is how it's intended to be used together. With the grenade launcher sights and the grenade launcher barrel, you can combine these and do some cool stuff. Like, see that red car over there? Let's try to hit it by using the bottom marking, and I should be able to nail it with the grenade launcher. I think we got pretty close. Yeah, we got it. So totally functional grenade launcher sights. These are awesome, but they totally work with other weapons as well. So in case you find this weapon out in the wasteland on a gunner and he has this sight but a different barrel, it's still functional. So that's pretty cool, I think. A nice little combo designed by me and Pig. We worked on that reticle quite a bit. Now we have some other parts that we can check out as well, and that is the stock section. So as you know, this weapon is not only a pistol but a rifle as well, combined together. So we have some pistol grips, we have the standard and the comfort from the vanilla game, but we also have now the eco grip, which is going to be the classic plasma pistol grip from Fallout 3. It doesn't look quite the same on this weapon, but I still think it looks pretty cool combined, and it's going to give you a nice little bonus to your magazine capacity. You also have a wood grip for those of you who like wood furniture. And let's go ahead and turn this thing down to a pistol so you can actually see what it's supposed to look like. There we go. That looks a little bit more fitting on a smaller weapon, though this thing is still pretty massive and bulky. We also have some new stock options, though, of course. We have a light stock, which I'm very, very happy with. A lot of people in the Discord seem to like this one a lot. This is going to be made out of plastic. It has a nice big handguard for you, and I really like the color combo. It has some cool green plastic, but also this yellow stripe ties it together with the rest of the plasma rifle, especially if you grab a barrel that has more yellow on it, like the caster barrel. I think that's a pretty cool look altogether. And then we have some other stocks as well. You know, there's the standard stock and vanilla, a solid wood stock for those of you who love wood furniture. I'm quite happy with this one as well. That's a pretty cool asset to have on hand. We also have the Eco stock, which is the classic Fallout 3 plasma rifle stock, thanks to Alexerator for using some of those parts in this mod. And then also the wood version of the Eco stock, which is going to give you the same benefits of the Eco stock, giving you a better magazine capacity, but also it's a little bit heavier with a wood stock and allows for more bashing damage. And as you can see, that's totally an AK stock that we have just mashed into this thing. Something that I think a Raider might totally do, so that's pretty cool looking in my opinion. But yeah, I think that's going to be every attachment for the plasma rifle. There may be a couple of ideas that we have floating around, but for now, you can guarantee that any of the ones that you saw today will be in the final version of the attachment pack. I know we've been doing a lot of these update videos, but once this mod comes out in full release, it would be like a 2-hour video to show off every attachment for every weapon in the game. So you can just think of these as mini mod reviews so that you can actually see everything that will be in the pack. Now that the plasma rifle is finished, we will be moving on to another weapon, possibly some more energy weapons, maybe the Institute rifle or maybe the Gatling laser, but we still have quite a bit to go. So expect more of these updates in the near future to see even more cool attachments added to the attachment pack. If you guys have any ideas for any attachments for not only the plasma rifle, but any guns in the game, feel free to leave those down in the comments below. We always love having extra inspiration to go off of, as some of these weapons can be pretty difficult to come up with ideas for. With that though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's really fun working on this mod project. I know it's taking quite a bit of time, but this is a pretty massive undertaking. I can't wait for this to be done so I can start moving on to some of my standalone weapons. I have quite a lengthy notepad now of ideas and other projects I'd like to get working on, so hopefully this will be done sometime relatively soon, within the next couple months. With that though, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a rating. Consider subscribing if you haven't already for more videos just like this. Big shout out to all of my patrons for supporting every single video. And of course, a very special thank you to Avian4, Captain Chaos, Helljumper, Indecisive Wolf, John Moreland, Cushy, Logan Rigmaiden, Microhon, Moonlit Gamer, Feed, Scott, Timmy76, Youth RC, and Voider for joining that Tier 3 Patreon membership. You guys are awesome. If you'd like to support the channel and the mods I work on, you can check out Patreon down in the link in the description below, but it is completely optional. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace!